happy holidays, everybody. How are y'all doing?
Feeling jolly.
Are ya? Are you feeling the vibes? Is it snowy there where you are, Wilson?
It's very snowy, and you dare question my jolliness at this time of year?
Yeah, you feeling
the
the
holiday spirit lives through me.
You all like decked out? Your house is all decorated and things like that?
No, not too much decorations, but we got cookies ready to be decorated, and
Ooh.
yeah, everybody's ready for the holiday.
How about you, Bradshaw?
Yep. Had the day off today because blizzard or whatever this morning.
Yeah,
So
I drove to work in that.
My boss was just like, you just stay home. I was like, all right. So I've just been chilling. But yeah, I mean, Mom has been hoarding food and stuff for the last couple days for Crimbus, and I still have to wrap my presents tonight from my parental units, but doing Zoom call present opening with my brother's family.
Oh, that should be fun.
At some point, and yeah, it'll be a good time.
Nice.
Looking forward to it. It's I kind of like while I love the whole get together with the family stuff, it's always very mentally taxing to a degree. So having some holidays where it's just a couple of us, and I don't have to worry too much about making sure I cover all the bases and with all the family, and
Yep.
get all mentally drained and stuff is kind of nice. So
That's
again,
good.
it's not that I dislike having all the family and all that stuff. It's just sometimes it's nice to just kind of chill.
It gets to be a lot.
Okay.
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Sometimes when it's like just family, it's like, oh man, I just need a downtime, or I need to snooze.
Yep. So having that kind of respite this year is kind of nice to a degree.
Yeah, this is like a weird year for holidays for sure.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Especially for me, because we finally moved into a house. That was our big thing.
Nice.
Yeah.
So it's so weird besides having the COVID pandemic thing happen, but like moving everything out of our apartment and into this new house now, and we're trying to like get that in order. We have no Christmas stuff set up, only a tree and presents under it, and like no like lights like on the exterior or anything like that. So this year is particularly weird for us because we don't feel like it is Christmas, even though like we will be seeing family. But yeah, it's weird all around.
Right.
But
it's weird to say the least.
But still cozy. I still feel cozy now. I'm in my own little office now. I used to be recording this in my bedroom that had my computer in it because we used up all the space. But yeah, I have like this nice office. Looking around, I got a nice window. I'm in a basement, so I'm not bothering anybody.
Right. That's nice. That's also very nice.
And there's a bar 10 feet or 10 probably 10 feet away from me.
Well, there you go.
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah, we walked in and we saw this bar in our basement, and it's not fully stocked yet, but we have time.
It's the space for some daddy time.
Yeah, for sure.
Some daddy time.
But speaking of daddy time, we have Terry Hogan, also known as Hulk Hogan.
Terry Bollea, dude.
Bollea, sorry, I don't even know. I just know his first name's Terry.
Yeah, the Hulkster.
Say his name again.
Terry Bollea.
Bollea, okay. Back in the 90s, the Hulkster had a lot going for him.
Yeah, he did.
He had a lot of movie deals, and
had that merch, dude.
He had the merch, Hulkamania,
bro. Hulkster in Heaven.
Hulkster in Heaven. This CD.
Fucking Three Ninjas. What's that? It was like the third one.
Yeah, it's something at like Thunder Mountain or something.
Yeah, like an amusement park.
Theme park, yeah.
Yep.
And
Hulkster's everywhere, dude.
This is Hulk Hogan as Santa, but Santa with muscles.
Ho ho ho, brother.
Yep.
I mean, the title really does like not leave anything to the imagination.
No, it just
Yeah.
puts it right out there. What's this movie about? It's about Santa with muscles.
It's about Santa with muscles.
Yeah. Is that what you guys predict? It's just gonna
I
be him with
so.
muscles.
It's gonna be Santa with muscles.
But
So
how
is he good at? Yes. What?
do you think where do you think he falls on the scale? Do you think he's going to fall more Santa or more Hulkster? Like, is he going to be like, oh yeah, I'm doing a suplex, but I'm dressed like Santa, or is he going to be like, no, we got to get these presents out, and he's going to have to like, where's he?
He's Hulkster. Hulkster first, Santa second.
Okay.
100%. He's not gonna repress the Hulkster to try to perform a brilliant Santa. He's just gonna layer Santa over the Hulkster. That's what I think.
Yeah,
Fair
it's gonna be more Hulkster, but a smidgen of Santa sprinkled in there.
A smidge of Santa.
So yeah, I have
Santa via the Hulkster character.
I was talking with Broadshow about in the 90s. I mean, for me, yeah, the 90s was, I was huge into WWF at the time.
Yep.
It was WWF and all that stuff.
Yep, I was a WCW boy.
Yeah, I loved all wrestling.
WWW boy.
But around that time, I remember a lot of different wrestlers would come out with their own like media. Like
Yep.
they just show up in random stuff.
Dude, yeah, it never stopped because once wrestling became like internationally popular, like huge in like the late 70s,
Yep.
early 80s.
Andre was a big one too.
Andre, yep. Everybody started trying to branch out into movies, just like, martial arts dudes and like weightlifting dudes. Like they all tried to kind of branch out into the action movies. Some it worked better for than others. Hulkster gave a valiant effort in a
Yeah.
couple movies.
He had
now
Suburban
it's like- and
Commando, all that.
And it hasn't stopped, you know what I mean? Like,
No.
you had John Cena do, like, what was it, The Marine or whatever that shit was a long time ago. Now he's
Yep.
back in movies and stuff again.
Yep. Fast and the
and,
Furious.
Fucking, you have the dude who broke the mold with the fucking Rock, who actually, succeeded in taking over movies. So it's like,
You had Captain Lou Albano even before then,
yeah.
being the Super Mario on the Super Mario Brothers Super Show.
Oh
And
yeah,
you
good
had,
pull.
Sergeant Slaughter in fucking G.I. Joe, dude.
The cartoon?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, this Sergeant Slaughter was he was a WWF dude, and he became part of the Joes on the cartoon. Even had his own
Wow.
action figure.
Well, looky there.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, they've been doing it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. And Hulkster
varying
was
levels of success.
Hulkster was
quite-
probably the biggest one that people recognize, I would say, more
out of
around
that
this
era.
time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%. Outside of Andre in
Yep.
fucking fucking anybody want a peanut? Fucking what's the shit?
Princess Bride, the one that you hate.
There you go. Yeah, overrated as fuck movie. Not a bad movie. Not a bad movie. It's just overrated as fuck. Joins the ranks of like Boondock Saints and like shit like
God.
that, where it gets hyped to the max. It's like, this is one of the best movies ever, and then you see it and it's like, this is all right movie, but
Yeah, it's one of those quotable
Yeah.
movies.
it's quotable as fuck. It's funny.
The contingent of people that enjoy that movie won't like ever be quiet about how much they like it. They just
Yes.
And if you're not
Yes.
as vocal as they are, there's a problem. You can't just
Oh,
be
yeah,
like, yeah, it's okay.
Fucking Firefly fans are like that too.
Oh my god.
Yes.
I watched that show and I was like, it's introduced a lot of interesting possibilities for future endeavors, but this first season itself is only okay. And then everybody's just like, the fuck are you saying? And I was just like, yeah, I'm sorry.
Yikes. People are
Sorry.
passionate. People are passionate.
Yeah, that's fine, dude. That's fine. I get it.
Those Whedon boys, those people coated in brown.
Yeah, dude, them Joss Whedons. Joss Whedon's like the king of overrated. All his stuff is like decent to good, but he's got a lot of people that just love his shit.
Well, you
It's
know,
all right. It's okay. I have
You
no
know.
problem with it.
yeah, people got their likes and dislikes, and
Yeah,
well, let them have it.
Yeah.
let them have it. I'll just
Um,
keep telling them they're wrong.
Are you guys ready for this movie? I mean,
Hell yeah, dude.
I don't know what I'm gonna expect. I've never seen this. I watched the trailer. I know some things in it, but
all I'm expecting is someone's gonna try and fuck with Christmas, and Santa's not gonna have it. That's all I expect.
I think it's gonna be a fish out of water story of the Hulkster living out his life in the North Pole, and then for some reason he's got to go to like L.A.
Okay.
It's like, I don't understand these fruit smoothies and these health nuts, and they're all like, oh, you should. And it's gonna be like Rockadoodle, where they're gonna be like, you should get into professional bodybuilding and be like Mr. Universe. And he's gonna be like, hell yeah, brother, and then he's gonna forget about Christmas. And they're like, but Santa.
Yeah, it's gonna be it's gonna take the fish out of water stuff. Like it's gonna be in that elf vein where it's like, what is all this? And then also throw in that rock dude and fucking yep. There you go. You got
my prediction.
Then the Hulkster, and you got it.
How
Hulkster's gonna punch at least 10 people. So.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Let's keep that counter going.
I think he's gonna have at least one reindeer that is going to be named differently than any of the other classic reindeer names.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. There's some sick '90s named reindeer.
Shredder or something like that. I don't know.
Thrasher.
So, on a scale of like 1 to 10, do you guys think this is going to be like a sentimental Christmas movie and have like a good message at the end, or is it just going to be like a generic Christmas themed movie?
A scale of one brother to.
I'm going to go with a solid 5. I think it's going to try in its own way to be like, not sentimental, but just be like, you can have fun, but you can also have muscles at the same time during Christmas. And it's going to try and give like a positive message about muscles and being fit and like being shredded and being brothers with everybody.
Be brothers.
So yeah, I think there's going to be a very thin plot point of, well, it's Christmas, but like, I mean, a lot of it's gonna be Christmas themed Hulkster. You know what I mean?
What's the meaning of Christmas?
Should have a brother counter too.
Brother counter? Yeah.
Yes, please.
All right, brothers.
A counter and a brother counter.
Are you brothers ready to watch?
You know it, brother.
You know it, brother. So.
All right, I'm gonna roll it.
And now, our feature presentation.
Bentley Schuster.
Suck a butt, suck a butt, suck a butt. But. Rhymer. I hardly know her. Hosick.
Michel Ledoux.
David DeForest Keys. Dan Auerbach from the Black Keys.
Sam Erdang.
Peregrina.
Goddamn.
Chili.
Ali Farbood. Ronnie Gotch, dude. Ronnie Gotch.
Prop Master Dort Donald Clark.
Right next to fucking Tom Wages.
Dort. Hugh Pocock.
Doug Gaylord. M. Chris St. Dennis.
That sounds like two separate things, like M. Chris, comma, St. Dennis.
Dee
D.D. Irwin, yeah, what the fuck?
John Ziggy Bean.
Todd Cottom. Lori
Everybody's got a fucking quote name. Manuel Jr. Ruiz. David Bear Ortiz.
Daru Frutos there. Pear.
How many names with quotes can we get?
There's probably a lot of wrestlers that worked on this.
Yeah.
Chuck Zito. Vinny Curtin.
Chris Colombo.
One more take.
Just one
A
more
lot of Italians on this.
One more thing, Sam.
David Allen Clark. Fucking chicken boy.
David Allen Greer's friend, the chicken friend.
David Allen Greer's chicken. Daryl Orlando Rude.
Schlattman. Linda Coffey.
cave sequence.
Stankovic.
Douglas is sulking it in.
Maxime Carl.
Debbie Van Pook.
Bouquet.
Eric with a Q. That's obnoxious as fuck.
Oh shit, dude! Change your name.
Sounds great.
Toby Stone. My name is Toby
sounds
Stone.
Great. Sounds great.
It sounds good.
Oh,
There's some short credits.
Thanks to Best Western for putting up all the actors while they're not filming.
THX, bro.
All characters in this film are fictitious.
1996.
I loved this.
Yeah, dude, this was only like 3 years before that 70s show.
Really?
What?
Yeah, that 70s show started in 1999, I'm pretty sure.
I remember, yeah, Mila Kunis was like,
Mila Kunis was 16.
yeah, she was young when it started.
15 or 16, yeah. Or 14, something like that. I don't remember.
She was 12. She was 20. She was 38. She was 9.
Just 2 months old.
Well, that was Santa with Muscles, the most accurate name for a movie ever. How'd you guys like it?
Yeah.
It could have been called so many other things, you know?
True. Did you guys enjoy it?
Loved it.
I
loved it.
Yeah, it was awesome.
It was a great time.
Like, we've definitely watched some stinkers on purpose, or just via happenstance, like
Yeah.
Little Ghost Boy, or the what was it?
The little ghost boy.
The Halloween Tree.
Halloween Tree.
And I mean, I thought this was going to be in the vein of like, we know that we're getting for something bad, but I was genuinely pleased. Like, this has some charm to it.
Well, yeah,
a little bit.
Even like into like the first 5 or so minutes, I was like, "Oof, this
Predictable,
might be a stinker."
predictable. Really,
Yeah.
like we picked
Dude,
out
yeah.
everything.
We're
We're
really
like,
throwing-
oh, what is this? Is
we're
this
throwing
fake? Is
Every
he
like
fighting
90s
his?
plot point we could.
Yeah, we totally
'Cause we were
guessed
like-
that he was fighting his workers at his mansion. Like he's just a rich
Yep.
guy.
He goes on a fucking that paintball terrorism thing, and we're like, we see him leading up to this mall, and we're like, okay, what's gonna happen? Oh, he's gonna disguise himself as Santa to get away. Oh, what if he, gets in an accident and fucking forgets who he is and thinks who he's Santa? Turns out both of those were right.
Yep.
Like, you just and then like, oh, watch, he's gonna at some point find a way to lose the sleeves on his Santa costume. That happened.
Thank you, Mila.
Yeah, Mila Kunis. Young Mila Kunis got 2 That 70s Show stars in this movie. Mila Kunis and Don Clark, a.k.a. Donna's dad. Or Don Stark. Don Stark, not Don Clark. Mila
Don Clark,
Kunis
Don
is-
Stark, Don Dark.
Don Clark. But yeah, Don Stark, Donna's dad in that. Both
I
of
like
them.
the meta we came up with about this movie too, because
That was,
Yes.
because it quickly transformed into like a superhero movie.
right,
Because the main bad guy, your pseudo Lex Luthor, fucking
evil
Mr.
scientist.
Freeze, fucking Ed Begley Jr. has a team of bad guys that are all like Batman style. You got Dr. Blight, who's like the doctor, and you got
Literally just an MD, like general practitioner.
Dr. Vile, who's the weird dude with the stink gas. and then you got the guy who says he's a geologist, but he's more like an archaeologist.
He does nothing rock or bone related the entire movie.
And then you got Miss Watt, who's got like electrical gloves that shock you and shit. So you got your legion, your secret society of supervillains there. And then the Hulkster gets like his new and improved costume from Mila Kunis. That's like a superhero costume. He's got like a utility belt and shit.
Yeah, we should mention that. Well, we should get into the plot points. Like those evil guys were introduced pretty early on, torturing a business owner of this place that they're trying to close down or something, so they can do some nefarious whatever.
Once again, the bad guy's like scheme revolves around real estate.
Yeah.
Yep, that's the Lex Luthor part there too. Yeah.
And then the other rich guy, Hulk Hogan's character, what was his name?
It was Blake Thorne.
Yeah, Blake Thorne.
He's a rich guy, and he, runs away from the police, gets concussed, and forgets who he is. And this elf, this little helper, who was working for Frost, or doing something for Frost. It's kind of unclear, but he is in cahoots with him somehow. Takes his wallet and makes him think that he's Santa Claus.
Because he loses his memory.
Yeah.
He owes a lot of money to Frost. That's why he's doing most of this, because he's like, yeah, I'll get you your money. Don't worry about it.
And then you see Frost has this big map thing, and he's like crossing out these places that he's, taking over, in the last bastion that he has to get through is the fucking orphanage. It's right in the middle.
Like the thorn, no pun intended, in so many like sides of villains in a lot of movies is like, that orphanage that's the last thing standing in my way.
Yeah, and there's a lot of weird like bullying going on. Like the team of super villains shows up and like rips down the statue out front, and like
they put us for sale like 3 shopping days till Christmas outside the orphanage.
Yeah, like what? There's a lot of cartoon sound effects. But yeah, so then after that, that's how quote unquote Santa ends up there, is because he runs into these bad guys outside this orphanage, and then he kind of like starts chilling with them, and you got Angel Baby, and then you got the Taylor, his name's Taylor, and then Mila Kunis, which apparently there's only 3 orphans in this orphanage.
Yep.
And then the Den Mother, and that one dude who played Ant-Man in Saturday Night Live.
And this is where our meta starts kicking in a little bit more with the nicknames for the kids, since we got introduced to the bad guy, the evil villains.
Yeah.
We had to have the kids become their own superhero.
Well, yeah, because like the boy Taylor was like fucking, he was
emo.
like had a slingshot and shit, and like emo, and like, and then there's the Elizabeth who's like this little girl who has one amazing scene and then a couple other scenes where she just like has like a supersonic voice.
Yep.
And then Mila Kunis is like the brains of the operation, plus like the tailor, the seamster,
because she makes Hulk Hogan like a modified Santa suit that is like no sleeves and it's got a utility belt.
His superhero suit with an S on the belt buckle. Like, yeah. So then you got that squad together, and then like a bunch of shit happens. There's a couple fights with Dr. Blight and people, and then like, and then you like, do they discover the catacomb thing before or after he falls in the trash?
Before.
Okay. Yeah, because then there's like, we just hang out in the fucking catacombs beneath the church.
The clubhouse?
That's our clubhouse.
Yeah. By the way, since they spent time in the church, we immediately was just like, church fight. It's gonna be church fight. Thank God there's a church fight.
Yeah.
And so yeah, this was also after the glorious scene of Elizabeth singing "Angel Baby." Fucking Angel Baby.
I'm gonna listen to it one more time.
Her first supersonic.
She fucking skyrockets. It's amazing.
It somehow blackens the sky outside.
And Hulk Hogan
sparkly lights
like,
to happen.
He's sitting there trying to sing the song, just like.
He just mumbles.
It's my favorite scene of the whole movie.
But yeah, then Hulkster gets in a fight with is it Blight? In
the tower,
in the bell tower thing, yeah. And then the Santa up there like grabs onto him by accident. Like there's a animatronic Santa, and it like hooks him, and tosses him off the tower.
And then he falls into the trash.
The trash, and then he remembers who he is, and he wakes up back at his place. And then he wakes up, and this is when the superhero squad descends upon or the supervillain squad descends upon the orphanage. And like he gets a frantic call from fucking Don Stark. It was just like, "Hey, the bad guys are here. We need your help."
Great.
And
100%.
so the Hulkster rallies his squad, his service squad. That's all his his driver and his waiter or his cook and like gardener and shit that you saw him fight at the beginning. And they go to help try and save everything. Everybody else kind of disappears though. Like the Hulkster goes in there and starts fucking shit up, but like the service squad is just, I don't know. You don't really see him much. But yeah, they infiltrate, do some beatdowns. You find out that the reason why Ed Begley Jr. wants this place is because of this cavern of sparkly light up crystals that you see earlier in the catacombs there. And Hulkster comes in, lays the beat down on a bunch of people, including a racially insensitive wrestler guy. Watt gets damn near electrocuted to death from getting water poured on her.
Yeah, that was a little gruesome.
That was the church fight. That was the church fight that we called.
Yeah, that was the church fight, dude. Dr. Vile gets his own stink gas tube shoved in his suit and taped in there so he explodes with stink gas.
Explodes with stink gas, yeah.
Dr. Blight gets all weird and rapey and then fucking pushed into a meat locker and gets all frozen and shit. And then comes the big twist. The biggest twist out of nowhere is dude who played Ant-Man on SNL was like, "Hey dude, don't you remember you grew up here?" And it's like, what? You find out that the Hulkster fucking grew up in this orphanage. Not only that, there's a picture of him on the mantle and he's playing with another boy. And you find out that other boy is fucking Ebner Frost, our bad guy. So it's like,
Ed Begley Jr.
Twists on twists on twists, my dude.
I don't think it needed to happen really, and it wasn't telegraphed in any way of like, this is familiar, or I feel like I know that name, Frost. It was just like, I guess I was an orphan here and we grew up together.
There's even less context to this twist than a Shyamalan movie. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, no kidding.
Happens.
It just happens. And he completely forgot.
And then there's the boss fight in the fucking the catacomb crystal thing.
Well, and there's the high ground scene where Hulk was wearing the Santa hat and Begley's wearing the hazmat suit, and Hulkster's got the high ground.
I still don't know what is wrong with Ed Begley Jr. Like, because he's like lives in this place it's constantly like disinfected, and the Dr. Blight's constantly checking him out and shit. And when he goes out to this place, he has to wear like a containment suit. Like, you still have no idea like what's wrong with this dude unless we missed it early in the movie.
I don't think we did.
Or why he wants the crystals. Like, we don't know why he wants the crystals.
Well, because they say that it's worth millions, and then at the end, the Hulkster's like, "You can't be doing this because you're mad at me," or something. He's like, "No, I'm doing it for the money." But I think the reason that he's in the suit is just because, I don't know, he has like a weak,
kind of like a bubble boy.
Something. Yeah. He's just
weak immune system, just can't cope with normal atmosphere.
And then they have in the boss battle, they each pull out overly long crystals and have like a lightsaber fight.
Yeah,
pretty tight. And then the whole place is about to go up, and they're like, "Oh shit! Everybody, just get out of here! Get out of here!" Everybody runs out. It's at this point that we realize there's only 3 orphans.
No,
I never thought about it. We just thought that these were the 3 they chose to focus on, right?
Okay, I knew. I totally made that point early on. I was like, this seems like a really boring orphanage. There's only 3 kids.
Well, yeah, we only see 3 of them, so I just assumed like, they didn't want to have an ass ton of child actors, so they just had these 3 there.
Yeah,
and it's actually a full-on orphanage. It's just only got these, like, we're only focusing on these 3. Wasn't until everybody evacuated and there was just those 3 kids there. You're like, wait a minute, huh?
After they defeat Frost at the end, and everybody's like, "Oh, what are we gonna do now?" The Hulkster's like, "I have an idea of where you guys could go." because the entire like church and everything of the orphanage got fucking poltergeist.
It poltergeists itself. Yeah.
And so he's like, I got an idea where we can
itself.
go. And they end up going to Frost's house and taking that over as like a new orphanage. And there's like 50 kids running around.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. And
Did you create more orphans? Did you go out and murder parents just to orphan children and then like bring them there?
Yeah, because definitely there wasn't kids in that building because the only kids were outside watching it collapse. So if there were kids,
this whole time we were thinking too, like, oh, so like what's gonna happen to the orphanage, and then the kids have to come live with him or something, right? In his big ass mansion. No, he just co-ops fucking fucking Frost's place when he's in prison. And then they're looking at him through a telescope as they're fucking in their old-timey jail costumes.
In the chain gang.
Trash. Yeah, picking up trash. This is like, what? Huh?
But I was like genuinely tickled by this movie. It was...
Yeah, dude, I had so much fun.
It had more going for it than I ever thought it would, and I want to watch this every year now.
Yeah, it's a decent one
great time.
to get back to, and it's something different out of the normal Christmassy type movies. Like this had some sentimentality to it, and I wanted it to have a tinge of that. It was more of like an action movie, like saving the day, and it could have taken place on any other
movie, dude.
Any other day. Yeah, it could have taken place on just 4th of July even.
Yeah. It was just the fact of like him having to assume the role of Santa Claus and then like kind of thinking what that meant and shit. Mm-hmm. Like it had the reason for the season type thing at the end or whatever, but
can you guys fucking imagine if this movie took place on 4th of July and like the Hulkster's Uncle Sam, just shirt like sleeveless Uncle Sam with the top hat and red, white, and blue.
Can you imagine?
For America, brother.
Yeah, can you imagine his like crew of Patriot commandos and that? Amazing. Back to we had at the beginning of this we were talking about how many people he was going to punch and how many brothers there was going to be. Didn't punch 10 people, he punched like 8, right? 7 or 8. We were close.
And it was pretty much the same people.
He punched the same people multiple times.
Yeah.
And then not a brother in sight. We were wrong. He dropped the Hulkster persona, and it was just like normal acting.
I don't want to say he played it straight because he definitely wasn't like doing anything normal, but he was like just he wasn't the Hulkster at all. He was just Blake
Terry
Thorne.
Bollea. Yeah, he had a sick ass hairpiece.
Yes.
Yep.
It was great to the point where I didn't recognize him right away, but as soon as he like talked, and I was like, oh yeah, there he is. There's the Hulkster.
Yeah, it's actually a pretty good superhero story too, because when I made the correlation between this and Unbreakable, because the Hulk would be Bruce Willis's character and Ed Begley would be Sam Jackson's character.
Yep.
They're both
pretty much, dude.
The antithesis of each other.
He is and he is very Mr. Glass like because he's
fragile.
At the end, too, we see once he's got his helmet ripped off and shit, then he's outside and he is like coughing or sneezing or some shit. So he is like immunocompromised.
Yep. So Santa with muscles did it first.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, man. It was just so much fun.
And we didn't mention Clint Howard, but he was the catalyst of a lot of
bookend. He was the framework.
Yeah, he kind of set everything in motion.
Yeah, he played a cop that was chasing our boy fucking Thorne right away. And he was the one that led to this whole shenanigans. And he comes back at the end. And there's so many people in here that It's like, oh, that guy. There's a lot of that guys while you're watching.
Mm-hmm. And even didn't we see in the beginning of the movie when it said produced and it was by Jordan Belfort?
Jordan Belfort, yeah.
Was it Belfort? Because that's the guy's name.
I don't know.
Okay.
Belcourt. I don't remember.
We were thinking it was the
Wolf of Wall Street guy. I think it was Belcourt.
Which would have been amazing.
Yeah, this was prime time Wolf of Wall Street time for him too. So
I'm looking up the titles right now.
It could have been Belfort. It was close.
He was maybe having a white Christmas with Hulk Hogan, and he just passed this script over to him. He's like, "What do you think about this, brother?" It's like, you know what?
Yeah.
Fuck it. For so little of my money.
Clean ways to get some money.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Hulkster.
I'm gonna give it 4.5 Christmassy brothers out of 5.
I'm gonna give it 2 stars. Fanfare right there. That's my rating. That's my go-to rating.
I'm gonna give it 3.5 fucking spandex pants out of fucking 4.5. That's my scale.
So that's like a unanimous, like, go out there and watch this during the holiday. Like, sit down with your friends and family and watch it. It's a good time.
It's a recommendation for sure.
Yeah, I highly recommend it. It's like there's just enough cheesiness. Like there's cartoon sound effects and shit, and there's people acting like cartoon like bad guys and shit.
Yeah, really.
Like you can definitely be cynical about this, like just enough to kind of poke fun at it, and you can just watch it earnestly. Like a small child who doesn't know any of these characters, or any of these like actors or anything, could be like, "Yeah, what a fun little Santa movie, whatever." But
yeah, dude, that's just I don't know. Like usually I'll have more shit to talk about a movie like this, but there's just so much enjoyment.
Yeah, I felt the holiday, the spirit of the movie. It's sure I'll totally watch this again.
Sure.
You were wrapped in the hot dog colored arms of Hulk Hogan's Christmas spirit, dude.
I would love to sit on that lap and ask, Santa.
Yeah.
for some gifts.
Can I please have a copy of Santa with Muscles?
Out of my way, kids.
Yeah, brother. Oh, angel baby.
All right, well, hope you guys have an awesome Christmas, and I hope you guys get a chance to go watch Santa with Muscles.
Yes, please do.
Yeah, if not for Hulk, see all the people that grew up to do other things, like Mila Kunis and
Brenda Song.
Brenda Song was in it for a little bit.
Yeah, all the people.
I still don't know who that is.
And you never will.
You never
Probably
will.
Probably not.
Some people, I mean, I guess she
Brenda
was just
Song.
a Disney person, a big Disney
she was a
person.
Disney Channel person.
I'm
Brenda
sorry,
Song
I
and
wasn't listening. I was finishing Rainbow Connection.
I was finishing Rainbow.
Purposely tuning out any Brenda Song info.
Brenda Song and fucking, what's that movie with the pale white boy?
What?
Little ghost boy?
No. The movie that we always bring up, and Wilson's like, I don't know this movie.
Oh, Powder.
Brenda Song and Powder forever. Wilson's
You're
life.
just doubling down on stuff I don't know, and so
You gotta watch Powder with who's in that? Jeff Goldblum.
Brenda Song.
Brenda Song.
That'd be hilarious. Yeah, I don't remember who's in Powder, but
wait, was she not in Powder now?
no, she's not in Powder.
No, we're just
saying that.
relating both of those things to something that you just are
conflating them.
completely unaware of existing. Don't believe exist.
exactly.
No, she doesn't exist. She's not real.
6 degrees of Powder, going from fucking Santa with Muscles to Powder.
6 degrees of Kevin Powder.
Oh, I can't do that. I don't know.
Powdered bacon.
Any last things to say before we wish everybody a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year?
Not especially, dude.
See you in 2021.
Yeah.
More movies down the pike, and we'll watch really bizarre things.
To all a good fight.
Merry muscles, dude.
Merry muscles.
Yep.
Yeah, I like that. Merry muscles, everyone.
Muscles to all, and to all a good fight.
To all a good flex.
Just make sure
25 days of Flexmas.
find your angel baby. Make sure that they see the fairies in the window, and
Yep.
give them a little smooch.
All right, guys.
Hold them close.
Merry Christmas, everybody. Good night.
Happy holidays. See you next time.
Happy holidays.